I don't remember the last time I felt calm. Maybe before my brother died. His body was never found. Officially, he's missing. Unofficially, I know he was here, in this place, in this room. When my tire blew and the road led me to this motel, I thought it was a coincidence. Now I understand. It was an invitation, or a return. I'd been here before. I just didn't remember. I'd been driving for 6 hours. The asphalt shimmered under the sun and the sky hung low like a stretched canvas. The horizon pulsed with heat. The landscape was empty. No cars, no people, no signs. Only scattered scraps of rubber and potholes suggested that someone had ever passed through. The car interior was stifling. The AC had long given up and my shirt clung to my back. I turned off the radio, just static, irritating and relentless. My phone blinked its last signal bar and froze. No reception at all. The road felt endless, and I wasn't sure I'd make it to the nearest town. When the front tire blew out with a loud pop and the car veered, I gripped the wheel and steered onto the shoulder. A moment later, silence again. Only the wind rustling dust along the asphalt. I stepped out and bent over the wheel. The tire was losing air. Not a puncture, but bad enough to make driving dangerous. I wiped the sweat from my forehead and scanned the horizon. Just ahead, flat emptiness. But to the right, among sparse bushes, I saw a crooked sign. The paint was peeling, the letters faded, but I could still read, Stonefield Motel, 1 mile. No chain name, no logo, just a direction. I hesitated. Maybe it was just some old abandoned place. But I was tired, alone. I needed somewhere to rest. I got back in the car and started the engine. The tire groaned but held. I turned right onto a narrow, cracked road overgrown with grass. The motel appeared suddenly. A long, one-story building almost sunken into the earth. Wooden, paint chipped and flaking with a blinking neon sign, Stidas ni il. The rest of the letters were dead. Out front, a small parking lot, 5 or 6 spots, empty. I killed the engine and got out. The air was unnaturally still. No buzzing insects, no birds, just a faint hum of distant power lines. I walked to the entrance. Behind the glass door, a dim light glowed. I pushed. It wasn't locked. Inside smelled of old wood, cigarettes, and something sour. The front desk was dusty. Behind it, another room hidden behind beige curtains. I hit the bell. A harsh metallic sound rang out. A few seconds later, the curtains parted and a man appeared. About 60, thin, pale, greasy hair combed back, his face expressionless. He didn't speak, just stared at me. I swallowed. One night, I said, "Tire blew, I won't make it to town." He nodded, reached for a ring of keys, picked one. Metal tag scratched with the number, 3. Held it out, silent. "You got internet?" I asked, just to fill the silence. He slowly shook his head. "No signal out here." I wanted to ask something else, but he was already gone, back behind the curtain. I stepped into the hallway. Identical doors lined the walls, wooden with small brass numbers. Mine was room 3. I inserted the key, turned, click. I stepped inside. The room was dark. I found the switch. Light flickered, then came on. A ceiling lamp buzzed, casting a dull yellow glow. The furnishings were minimal. A bed with a wooden headboard covered in a stiff blanket, a small wardrobe, a nightstand, an old TV with manual knobs. The floor, bubbled linoleum. In the corner, a chair with a burned patch on the seat. I sat on the bed, The mattress was firm. I looked around. Stains on the wall. An old newspaper under the nightstand. I picked it up. Dated August 2009. Headline: Tourist disappears. No trace found. A strange sense of detachment crept in. Nothing was wrong, but everything felt off. Shifted just slightly. And then I heard the first sound. A creak from the wall next to me. Then soft footsteps. Carpeted. I pressed my ear to the wall. Silence. Or was that breathing? I lay down, tried to sleep, couldn't. I kept feeling like someone was in the hallway. I even got up, opened the door. Empty. I lay back again, closed my eyes. Time stretched. When I opened them again, the light was off. I didn't remember turning it off. Darkness filled the room, thick, almost physical. I reached for the switch, nothing, still dark. And then I heard it. A rustle from the corner, from the chair. I sat up fast, dark, but something was there. A shadow darker than the dark, as if something was sitting there. "Who's there?" I whispered. No answer. But the chair creaked. Gently, I reached for my phone, dead, no charge, no signal. I turned to the door, got up, took a step. The floor creaked. Another step. I reached the door handle. It didn't move. Locked from inside, I hadn't locked it. Another step behind me, soft tapping like claws on wood. I stepped back, tripped, fell. Under the bed, a rasping sound like choking or laughing. I jumped up, rushed to the window. It was jammed. I hit the glass. It rattled but didn't break. The air grew thick, heavy. The breathing, not mine, was close now. Left, right. From inside the walls. I lunged at the door again. Click. The lock snapped open on its own. I flew into the hallway, dark, no lights, just a faint flicker from the front desk. I ran, but no one was there. Curtains closed, front desk empty, but sitting right on top, the key to room 3. I was holding mine in my hand, but it was there again. I grabbed the key, cold, slightly damp. I looked at my palm, still holding the one I was given. 2 identical keys, both marked 3. My fingers tightened. The metal dug into my skin. "What the hell?" I muttered. And then I heard a voice. Quiet, close inside my head.
"You came back."
I turned around, nothing. The lobby empty. Just the hum of a dying light. I backed away, but something was off. The entrance I'd come through, it was gone. Just wall now. Wallpaper peeling at the edges. I rushed back through the hallway, tried the rear exit. There was a door, but the handle spun uselessly. The frame wouldn't budge. I slammed into it with my shoulder. Nothing. Then footsteps behind me, dragging, slow. I turned. Same hallway, but the light suddenly flicked on, buzzing. For a second, I saw something peek from the corner. I didn't wait. I ran back toward my room, but the door was open, wide. The chair was no longer in the corner. It was in the center of the room, and someone had been sitting there. The cushion was indented. Under the bed, I saw a shoe, old, dirty, familiar. My brother's. I stepped inside, trembling. Reached out, knees weak, bent down, and saw his face. Pale. Lifeless eyes, mouth slightly open. It was him. But the skin was tight, the lips blackened, the eyes vacant. "No!" I shouted and stumbled back, hitting the wall. His eyes blinked. I covered my face, breathing hard. When I looked again, nothing. The bed was empty, no shoe. But the chair was rocking. I bolted for the door. It slammed shut. The light died. Pitch black. I gasped for air. The voice came again, this time right in my ear.
"You can't leave."
The room began to compress. The walls creeping inward, the ceiling sinking. I felt the air thickening like water. Figures emerged from the dark, tall, shifting, with distorted human faces, eyes missing, mouths open, but silent. I screamed, ran through them. They were cold, wet. One brushed my arm, burning cold. I broke through into the hallway, ran. The hallway stretched on forever, door after door, all marked 3. I stopped, chest heaving. Turned, no one behind me, just silence. Then, one of the doors creaked open beside me. I knew I shouldn't go in, but I did. Inside, another room, but white, too white, no furniture, just one chair. And sitting in it, me, same shirt, same jeans. He looked right at me. His lips moved. You've been here the whole time. You just didn't want to remember. He stood, walked toward me, my thoughts tangled, reality frayed. Where am I whispered. He smiled, tapped his chest.
Inside.
The room dissolved. I woke up at dawn, in my car, on the side of the road. The tire intact. The sun rising. The highway empty. Phone working. Signal restored. I looked to the right, where the motel sign had been. Nothing, just bushes. No sign, no road. I turned on the ignition, drove in silence, not thinking, not asking, not remembering. But one thing wouldn't leave me alone. On the passenger seat lay a key, metal tag, number 3.